Thanks to Liquorland for sponsoring this episode of Willow Talk. Score more this summer with Liquorland, and of course, choose to drink wise. Welcome, day 2 wrap from the SCG. Adam Peacock, Brad Haddin here for Willow Talk. Alyssa Healy will be here. No, she's not in a hospitality area. She's actually working on television. She will join us for a portion of this podcast. Bradley, do you believe you?
No.
Me?
She's actually in the HR office at the moment, people and culture.
No. She survived.
Well, we're not sure about that yet. Let's just hold that judgment. She was outstanding yesterday. Anyone who wants to write in, tell us what they thought of Heels' performance yesterday. I thought she was absolutely 10 out of 10. We got the best version of her.
Yeah, we did. We'll see her later on in this episode. Hads, we won't see, and for you listeners out there, he's wearing a block shirt today. He's just all black. Yesterday he had the party shirt on. What happened?
Hey, you can only party the first day. You know that every time you go away on tour, the first day is always the big one, and that's exactly what happened day 1 of the Test match. It was a great day yesterday. Rain, let's not talk about that. It was just a great day to be involved in the Sydney Test.
We're here for Liquorland. Score more this summer with Liquorland. Choose to drink wise, of course. So England bowled out 3-8-4 when things could have been a lot better. They lost 5 for 60 odd to get out for less than 400, which felt like a win for Australia, Hads, and then they responded in kind. Australia at stumps 2 for 166, so England lead by 218, but Travis Head, in the form he's in at the moment, he's eating into that real quick.
Yeah, Travis Head looked like he was in one of those moods. It was poor bowling to start with, Potts. I don't know what he was trying to do. He got his length wrong. He allowed Travis Head to get in his innings. And you know, once Travis Head gets to that 30 ball mark, all of a sudden there's a different game. A different game opens up in front of him. He gives his stumps away. But today he played a lot more conservative because he didn't have to chase the game. They bowled too short at times, and when they had a break and tried to correct it, all of a sudden the ball was full. He could play straight down the ground. The other big moment, though, I love the Stokes Marnus moment.
Oh, what a shock. What a real shock this is. Okay, take us through it, Bradley, from your vantage point behind the Bradman stand late on day 2.
I had a different answer before Marnus got out, but it's an interesting part of the game there because Marnus was playing well.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes, we know, likes confrontation. We've seen that throughout his whole career. It doesn't seem to affect him. He does at times get up in those situations. Marnus has got a decision to make there. You got a decision to make. Do you turn your back and not engage, or do you get yourself involved in a confrontation? That's what he did. Stokes won that battle. If I was Marnus, the way I was playing, where I've come from the last 2 years, just turn your back. Turn your back on that moment there. He's looking to get a change out of what you were trying to do. Both you and Travis Head had the game right there. You had day 3 to bat tomorrow to be a beautiful surface to bat. We know you have an appetite to get big hundreds once you get in. It was a moment there. I think Marnus just had to turn away.
So I saw the whole thing evolve, watching Stokes. He'd get to the top of his run-up and he'd come in to bowl, and twice Marnus was stuffing around at the non-striker's end, just playing with the pitch and not quite back in his crease ready to back up. And Stokes just snapped at the end of an over and said, turned to him and had a go at him, and then told him twice to shut the you-know-what up. And then that's when he put the arm out. What would you have done if an opponent came up and did that to you?
No, you're not putting your arm around you. Well, I don't think Stokes should have touched him.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to touch anyone. It's
that's when the umpire got involved.
I know it's AFL there. He would have got a couple of weeks for a high shot there. But Marnus had, as I said, he had a decision to make right there. He already got under Ben Stokes' skin. Sometimes the best way to get involved in that is to turn your back and continue to bat the way he was.
We can't appreciate watching on, but it looks like the heart rate's down because you're just batting. Okay, you might run a quick single and things, so it doesn't look like there's a heap of adrenaline involved. However, can you put yourself in Marnus' shoes? Is it that there's so much adrenaline you just can't help it, and then you'll regret it later on that night?
Well, sometimes there's an adrenaline involved, but you have a decision to make then. If it was another play, you can maybe go after the game there and create a bit of a confrontation, but we're in front of the game. And Marnus, he was playing beautifully today. His footwork was sharp. He was getting through his weight through the ball.
So there's been a change since Adelaide and Melbourne from Marnus on that sort of day?
Whether there's a change or not, today he was in his groove. He was in his little bubble and he was playing his game. Steve Smith talks about, and the great players talk about, when they get in their little zone. They get their tempo right, they're worrying about what they do, and all of a sudden, you've got to do something to get a reaction to get them out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it looked today, I think Marnus made the wrong decision reacting back to what Ben Stokes did.
The other wicket Australia lost was Jake Weatherald.
Yep.
So you've got a real problem that he needs to fix?
At this level, you get exposed if you've got little flaws in your technique. And what we've seen, I think 4 times now, maybe 5, I think it's 4 times, he's got out the same way. He's got an issue where his head falls across to the off stump, he stops himself with his front leg, and that then makes him vulnerable to the ball straightening up. And we've seen him 4 times now get out LBW the same way. And with the data involved in the game now, how much teams plan, they're going to expose that. And that's what Jake Weatherald has happened with this test series. He's had one score above 50, and the other times he's been getting out the same way, which is a bad trend.
Yeah, so Jake Weatherald under a little bit of pressure with his... Everyone's under pressure when they play international cricket, but some more than others. Cameron Green as well, he has a moment today where he thinks he gets a breakthrough, but he oversteps. It's just one of those things when everything's going against you, and Jake Weatherald falls across again, and it's nicking the outside when he got... It looked out, but it's just those things when you're just looking for something to go your way that aren't quite there. It's pretty unfortunate.
The game will test you. This is a hard game, and especially at this level. It doesn't get more theatre involved in a test series or more pressure than an Ashes campaign. And that's what happens. When the things aren't just rolling your way, those little moments fall against you. There'll be times in your career where that goes the other way. But sometimes you've got to earn the right to get to that position. The luckier you are, is the more risk sometimes you take or the more positive you are and you're thinking. But that's the game, is going to test you. And that's why it's a test of character, skill, and everything once you get out there. So, yeah, it was a big moment there for both, but they'll come back from it. It's just testing them at the moment. What
about how Australia went about it in the field and with the ball early on day 2? So the figures here I mentioned at the top, 5 for 61, England ended up losing. You go back a bit further for when Brooke and Root were in, and then the wickets started to fall. They lost 7 for 158 on that deck. Was that down to just pressure, or was it down to illicit shot making? Pressure.
That's exactly what it was. You have there's been little moments that Australia have won throughout the whole series. Even today, when Harry Brook got out, it was a decision for Alex Carey to go up to the stumps, because every time he's done that, Harry Brook's game's changed. He hasn't felt as comfortable as just walking down the wicket, getting in the line, because he's worried about what Alex Carey will do. Today, there was a nothing shot. He just threw his hands at it. He got caught at slip by Smith, and all of a sudden, Australia got back on a roll. They were very disciplined with what they were doing with the ball.
Yeah.
They were very clever. They bowled at the stumps, they bowled to their field, and they got the rewards. Jamie Smith, wow.
So, rank it in terms of, okay, you've got Albert Einstein with the highest IQ, and then you've got maybe someone like Lloyd Christmas at the other end of the scale. In cricketing terms, give us an IQ on that shot. Lloyd Christmas?
Yeah, it's down the bottom. The thing about it today is you had Marnus Labuschagne bowling. You knew what he was trying to do. He's bowling halfway down the track, bowling 130 Ks. I don't know what Jamie Smith was trying to do. He's out there batting with Joe Root, and Joe Root, in the mood he was today, he was locked in. He was in one of those moments where they were going to have to fight tooth and nail to get his wicket.
Yeah.
He needed a partner, and that's where Jamie Smith let the moment go today. And that's a big loss. And what you said, they lost 7 for 50?
7 for 152 all up, but you're 5 for 61.
Yeah, 5 for 61 at the end. The Australia bowl, discipline to the tail. The new ball was coming as well. They knew what he was trying to do. They were trying to get a reaction out of Jamie Smith. So he won't want to watch that when he comes back.
Yeah.
But that's as silly as mistake at this level as I've seen.
Okay. Who would... Okay. Line this up for us. Jamie Smith or Marnus Labuschagne? Who would least like to see their dismissal again tonight?
Jamie Smith.
Jamie Smith.
Yeah, Jamie Smith getting out to Marnus Labuschagne bowling the way he did. You don't want to see that.
But conversely for the Australians, does that kind of take the foot off the gas in terms of Marnus reminding everyone of his wicket of Jamie Smith, how he got out later in the day?
Marnus will be disappointed in himself. As I said, you've got a split decision to make a decision what you want to do in that moment. Do you want to engage Stokes, so we know likes that type of combat?
Yeah.
Or do you just turn your back, and you'd already pissed him off enough at the non-striker's end from doing nothing? Just maybe in that situation you turn your back and you've already won that battle.
I did like Marnus' celebration though. It feels a day and a half ago now. When he took the wicket, he went on a lap of honour. Yes, absolutely. You had a good day, by the way. You saw the Richies early this morning.
Yeah.
Watson's pub in the EQ was filled up. And then you came over here, and at around the 2 for 22 mark, you were over in your mate's private box. You got in there and got a good view of the Richies having a great time.
Mate, I tell you what, the Richies, Richie Benaud is an iconic figure, not only in Australian sport, but in Australian history. And today, what we understand is the last day the Richies are going to come to the Test match.
Yeah, weird call.
Well, I think it's a weird call, but I want to shout out whether it's Cricket Australia, Cricket New South Wales, or someone, we've got to find a way to keep that tradition. Our games build on, especially Test cricket, is built on tradition. And if we can find a way to keep day 2, the 600 supporters there of Richie, his legacy doesn't need to go. We need to keep this. So Cricket Australia or Cricket New South Wales combined together, let's just find a way that we keep the Richies.
Same for Stormtrooper Day at the Gabba as well. Apparently that's going to fall by the wayside. We can't let these traditions go in Australian cricket, even though they're only 5 minutes old in the grand scheme of things. Hads, by the way, Alex Carey is closing 27 catches for the series. Your record is
20. I don't even know what you're talking about.
29. You know exactly what. So
29 what?
He needs three dismissals to break your record.
Oh, the world
series.
record? Yeah. He'll do it. Easy.
He'll do it? You happy with him?
Yeah, happy with that.
You'd love it if he did it up to the stumps to Scott Boland.
I'd love it if he did it up the stumps to Scott Boland, flicked the thigh pad on the way past, and he just stumps him down leg side, and doesn't celebrate. Just flicks the ball to square leg and just go, oh, well, that's just what you do.
So we're off to a quick drinks break here on Willow Talk. On the other side of the break, Brad Haddin will turn into Alyssa Healy. We'll get Heels' thoughts on how good Joe Root was today and a few other things about how Australia went about it and England went about it, and of course your questions from the Secret Cricket Club. Mates coming over to watch the cricket and you forgot the drinks? Liquorland will bring the drinks with free express delivery on orders over $99, and it will be there in under 60 minutes. Whether it's a backyard barbie, a picnic in the park, or just everyone round at yours to watch the cricket, Liquorland's got you covered this summer. Liquorland, official gold partner of Cricket Australia. 18s plus only, T's and C's apply. Express delivery not available in South Australia or the Northern Territory. Delivery fees may apply. Choose to drink wise. So we have replaced Brad Haddin with Alyssa Healy, who has been working today, and not as a social day for you, but an enjoyable one nonetheless, I dare say, Heels.
Yeah, you asked me for one word yesterday and I gave you 2, but the one word today is water. A bit more of a professional day, but I tell you what a day, finally, a day of Test cricket.
Yes.
That's what it felt like. This is the day that everybody needed, I feel, to get some sort of sense of real life back into our systems, and today we got it.
Yes, and we even got umpires looking at the light meter but not getting too kind of distracted by the light meter. They could have potentially gone off late in that day. Yesterday it looked like it was building to something akin to a proper day of Test cricket, and today, as you say, we got it in full.
What I love the most is there's never a lot of common sense in cricket if they don't go hand in hand, and we will happily say that as cricketers. Yeah. Today they got it right. They read the room. I think at no point did anyone really squeal about the light. I mean, one reared on Travis Head, he kind of squinted jokingly at Chris Gaffney, but at no point did anyone complain about it. None of the players were too bothered by it. Great. The umpires read the room. Whatever the light meter said, it was play on. So we got a really good day of Test cricket, which is what people want to see.
Absolutely. Joe Root was a big contributor to that. He turned a decent score into a very big one. And at one stage, it was like, oh, this is getting into Alistair Cook 2010 areas at the moment. And before Michael Neser came up with something quite special. But before that, Joe Root, his batting display?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, that's vintage Joe Root. You know, he's now got 41 Test hundreds. He went equal with Ricky Ponting. He's 4 shy of Jacques Kallis, 10 shy of Sachin Tendulkar. Will he get there? I wanted to pose that question to him. But, yeah, I mean, what a sensational knock. I mean, when wickets were falling around him, there was a bit of chaos. Jamie Smith was here, there and everywhere, and then the bowlers came in. But Joe Root's calmness in that batting lineup just signifies his class. And yet again, he showed it. Everyone was talking about, will he get 1 century in this Ashes series? Now he's got two to his name. He goes on the honours board, so fair play to him.
On the flip side, from an Australian point of view, Travis Head, does he have that in his grasp? Something like that? Something that Joe Root came up with tomorrow?
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's literally just taking the game on as he sees fit. I thought England bowled pretty poorly with the new ball today and gave him lots of opportunities to get into his innings. And I feel like once you let him get settled, you're in real strife. They bowled some really good deliveries at him and he still found a way to hit them to the boundary. So, obviously we'll wait and see. It looked a little tricky this morning when the pitch came up under the covers. They've been there overnight. So it'll be interesting to see how England bowl, but also how Travis Head approaches, stepping out there at 91 not out.
I couldn't quite fathom, and talk me out of this. I didn't hear your commentary or Seven, but like walking around the ground most of the day and just watching, I could not quite fathom that the man of the match for England, who bowled full and bowled well, didn't take the new ball. Josh Tongue, first change bowler. Why?
Yeah, it's a fascinating one to us as well, and no one can really understand the decision-making around that. Yes, Bryden Castle's taken, I think, 19 wickets in the series. So he's had a decent series, but a lot of those wickets have been through the middle periods. Actually averages 80 with the new ball for England. Why is he opening the bowling with that? He's actually proven to be better off coming in after the 10th over and actually bowling that back of a length at batters that, are prime in that moment in time. So it's a fascinating one. I actually was out there in that tea break and while the roller was on, I asked David Seiko, who's the England bowling coach, I said, I've got Tongue and Potts opening the bowling or potentially Tongue and Stokes, to be your best bowlers. And he said, well, no, it'll probably be Carson Potts. And I think everybody sort of looked at one another and went, okay. And that's nothing on Bryden Castle either. We're not having a crack at him, but it's just, Josh Tongue was so suited to those conditions today. Yeah. Matthew Potts didn't quite get it right. He's a quality cricketer, a quality bowler, but I just feel like they let that slip with a new ball. Yeah,
Matthew Potts, I can relate. He's waited all tour to get out there, and eventually it's akin to me going to my mate's 21st. You build up to it. It was a long time ago, by the way, but you build up to it. You much anticipation. When you get there, you just do not perform, and you walk away going, "What happened there?" So maybe he comes back tomorrow with a better attitude, a better ability to trouble the batsman.
Yeah, I've got a better analogy. You wait all week for your round of golf on Saturday morning at Longreach, and you hit the first one OB. It's just not the way you want to get going.
How much can you relate to that?
A lot.
Yay!
But yeah, you could be bowling impeccably in the nets, but you're bowling at your own batters, so your lengths might be slightly different to what you need to bowl to be Australian batters. So I'm no doubt he'll adapt, he'll get it right, and he's a good cricketer, so he'll find a way. But yeah, I just feel like they let Australia in early. Their best chance was with that new ball to get stuck in and get Australia's middle order batting out there tonight in the darkness, but they just didn't get that opportunity.
And Michael Neser comes out. I thought maybe Mitch was going to be the night watchman, but not happening. Scott Boland sacked after opening in Melbourne. Ridiculous. Michael Neser handled things pretty well. But he had to come out because Marnus and the Ben Stokes, and we discussed it at length in the first segment, so I don't want to double up on our listeners and watchers, but I'll ask you one similar question to what I asked Hads. Who's going to regret their quick moment more, Jamie Smith or Marnus Labuschagne?
Oh, Jamie Smith. I think Ben Stokes bowled a nice delivery to Marnus, who I reckon saw the scoreboard. He saw he was on 48. He saw one that he thought was up in his zone and wanted 50. So I think Ben Stokes tactically was spot on that delivery. I think Jamie Smith will look back on that one and go, I got that.
But Marnus not getting carried away in the moment because that was his first ball that he had after Ben Stokes menacingly put his arm around him. Yeah,
well, that'll be a really interesting one to watch at the end of the game. You can't do that. You can't touch other players, especially in that sort of manner. So that one will be a fascinating watch. But yeah, Marnus will look back on that and go, bummer. I nicked that ball, but I don't think he gets into those contests all the time. I don't think that rattled him too much. I genuinely think he wanted that milestone, chase it.
So 218 in front, England at the moment. We were one Travis Head boundary away from having just serendipity here on day two with all the Richies here and Australia trailing by 222, but not quite the case. On that, on balance, with a day three pitch coming up, hopefully fine conditions, Australia just ahead with their long batting lineup, or England can say, no, we're dead even here?
I think if England had got one more wicket tonight, if they had got Nisa out then, I think it would have been, England would have thought we're well ahead of the game. But I think it's in the balance at the moment. I think while Travis Head is there, he holds the key. You've still got Steve Smith. Usman Khawaja averages 87 at the SCG. You've still got Cam Green, Bo Webster, Richard Stark is batting remarkably well. Alex Carey. We got a long batting lineup this test match for a reason, and they'll back themselves in. So I would say Australia got a sniff.
Now, you've got all the Secret Cricket Club questions because Brad Haddin snuck off. He's off to do some push-ups on his shred. Nick said how he revealed the top 5 gigs for cashies, as in the top 5 people who have cashed in the most for side gigs here this Ashes series. But he was asking who was number 1. Now, you obviously went across, it is Mark Waugh?
Hands down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I actually heard the figure of how much cash he's got in his hotel room at the moment. I can't say that because he might get robbed.
There is a lot of horses to feed in that stable of him and Kim up there in the central. Oh, yeah, no, he's filled my pockets on occasions this last couple of months. Stu asks, in limited overs, we see a lot of slower balls. How come we don't see that in test matches?
Yeah, interesting one. I think with the modern day approach of players going hard, it'll come more into play. We've seen a few throughout the series. They're more subtle than probably the big change-ups we see in like Big Bash or T20. So, it might come into play if the wicket stays as true as what it has been. You've got to find ways to take 20 wickets.
Duncast, what do you think of Smith's captaincy and bowling changes? I felt it was too defensive. I get his point, but going back to our figures, 7 for 158 they took today to bowl England out under 400.
And I guess there was an element of needing to be defensive as well. Shorter boundaries here, the ability to get through the field was there. Joe Root's going really well. They were just happy to give him 1 down to third man. 1's better than 4. So it might seem slightly defensive, but I think that's the way that the Australian bowling attack would have approached today. Let's bowl good balls in the right area and make England come at us. And I think they did that and got.
Mick asks, sticking to the relative theme from yesterday, favourite Healy, Ian or Alyssa? Well, I can't win here, can I?
Alyssa.
I like living, so Alyssa. Finn asks, did Slug earn his nickname by bowling slower than Marnus? No, that's for a different reason, but we can't go into it right now. But, I dare say that he's going to cop it for that. And I dare say that Marnus is going to remind him of that.
Sorry, should.
Yeah,
play on.
Exactly. Eri asks, why are England incapable of seizing the match when they get the chance? Surely 384 is unders. That is probably the story of the day.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Jamie Smith got lucky too. Think about it. They could have been 6 for 270. All of a sudden, Australia might have got them out for 320.
That was when
Green no ball and then nicked one through.
Bo and Alex looking at each other.
Yeah, so they got a little bit lucky there. But yeah, I still don't understand that either. I was talking about it earlier that, this is the way they play, this is their approach, but you can't honestly walk back in the sheds and expect a pat on the back from the skipper when you get out in that fashion. And you could put 450 on Australia and, they not even have to bat again. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And DC, this is a general one. Tate Lee Johnson, keep to 1, face 1, be at the non-strikers for 1.
I'll definitely be at the non-strikers to Sean Tate because I'm not even seeing that behind the stumps.
Yep. So face either Brett Lee or...
Face Brett Lee.
And keep to
Mitch Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'll happily sit in the grandstand and watch all 3 while you try and do this.
Mitch is more likely to hit me up under the armpit. That might hurt me forever.
Fair enough. So McGrath Foundation Day tomorrow, the Jay McGrath stand, the ladies stands. I got the hat on right now. Buy your virtual seats, people. If you're out there, wherever you're listening to this around or watching it on YouTube, you can go onto the McGrath Foundation website or through their social media, buy your virtual seats. Day 2 for me was always come to the Test cricket with the old man. He went thanks to cancer, which affects 1 in 2 Australians. So get out there and help how you can and help this magnificent cause get bigger and bigger and bigger because it does every year. You'll be in your pink shirt tomorrow or pink outfit?
I will. I'm awaiting my box wardrobe at Get Up that I've seen a sneak peek of Isha Guys and it looks amazing. So I'm hoping I'm in something as glamorous, but we'll wait and see.
We will wait and see. Join us for day 3 on Willow Talk. Hope you enjoyed the day 2 wrap. Thanks to Liquorland. Score more this summer with Liquorland. Choose to drink wise. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.